So let's take a look at this, chat. The euro is continuing to crash. And if you've been watching my stream for a while, you know I've been covering this. I've been covering this for months and months, and I've called this. I said this was going to happen. And I tried to warn people that there's going to be a massive, massive recession in Europe, and the economy is going into the shitter. There is no soft landing, okay? China's not doing great. Europe is about to have an energy crisis and a crunch. The United States is raising interest rates because of high inflation. We're having a bad economy. There's no two buts about it. Anybody who's deluding themselves into thinking, oh, it's all going to be a soft recession. I mean, the only way that happens is if, like, the war in Ukraine ends, the U.S. lifts sanctions on Venezuela and Iran, China gets a hold of their economy. I mean, like, kumbaya shit has to happen all over the world at once. I guess it's possible, but it's not likely. So I don't know what to say. You know, it's happening now. So I guess I have to show it to you. There's really no more analysis to be done. Super user, thanks for the 23 months. One more thing, I'm back to work before. This is super important. Musk is going to need security if he's going to keep playing State Department. He could do this to anyone, any governors, anywhere, at any time. The implications of these actions, even if it's good action, are massive. It could turn on anyone at any point. Elon Musk greenlit to activate Starlink internet for Iranians. I mean, you got to get your... Don't they have to get, like, the base stations to Iranians? How are they getting the base stations to Iranians? Seems like a PR move more than, like, actual help. So if you look at this chat, look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. This is the euro. 1 euro now only buys you 96 cents. Holy shit. Look at this. And if you see the euro below the dollar in the past, it didn't actually... The euro hasn't been an actual currency that's used by people. Basically said it, you know, this is basically the lowest point it ever reached was in the 84. Coins and banknotes were launched January 2022. And then it basically rocketed straight up. So right about here is when it started. So the euro is at a, what, 22-year low, 20-year low? And the pound is also in the same position as well. The Great British Pound it crashed earlier this weekend to a 103, but it has since come back to 107 today. It was down. Do you see this? Like, look at this shit. It was down to like 103. It's come back to 107. Like intraday lows. But this is like, you have to go back. When's the last time it was this low? I mean, I think it's at its lowest point like since the 80s. 1984. 38 years ago. The evidence that neoliberalism and capitalism has failed is overwhelming. That anyone who denies it is a fascist. I mean, nobody thinks things are going to get any better. Like, no neoliberal thinks anything is going to get any better. And if they do, they don't have any case. On NPR, they were saying this morning that adjusting for everything, the pound sterling has never been this weak against the dollar since we started printing greenbacks. Yeah. It's lower than the entire chart on CNBC going back to 84. I mean, this is crazy.
Investors did not enjoy the announcement from the government on Friday about this mini budget. It had nothing mini about it, really. It was quite a big announcement from the UK government. They announced several tax cuts. We're talking about the biggest cuts in 50 years. And the key problem here for the market is that the government announced that it was increasing public borrowing. And I'll just give you some numbers there to essentially understand.
They're cutting taxes to increase borrowing. They are doing debt-financed tax cuts. Conservatives, man.
Talking about here. So in April, the estimate for the 2022-2023 fiscal year was that the borrowing was going to be at 161 billion pounds. That has now gone up to 234 billion pounds. So we're talking about a significant increase in borrowing here, and investors are concerned about this. They are asking the government really to come up with...
They're borrowing money in an environment of massively increasing interest rates. Incredibly stupid government. Incredibly stupid. They should be raising taxes on the rich right now.
With some sort of fiscal commitments going forward. Several analysts, though, have suggested that we are unlikely to see a policy.
Middle class 1% decrease, rich people 5% decrease. Who votes for these people? People who are convinced, people who think when they say, we don't like immigrants, that they actually mean it. Liz Truss is a secret KGB agent trying to take the monarchy from inside the government. Only logical explanation for her actions. I mean, she's just an ideologue. She's just a neoliberal ideologue. That's it. Cap on bankers' bonuses to be lifted. Reversing the increase in national insurance. Plan to raise corporation tax from 19 to 25% scrapped. So cut taxes on corporations. Cut spending on the NHS. Let bankers have unlimited bonuses. And the result is even the markets understand this is terrible. Even the markets are like, what the fuck are you doing, idiot? You're going to crash your economy. I mean, just the stupidity is incredible. The stupidity is incredible. And that's what we have to face. Any Brit bongers in the chat? Any Brit bongers in the chat? I love how Hasan uses rookie hole to mean absolutely anything because it's such a dumb term. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're in the rookie hole, dude. Why they show the graph like that? It's literally 4 cents. I want you to imagine millions of people, tens of millions of people getting up right now. 67 million people. You can't even comprehend that amount of people. I want you to imagine all those people getting up and working all fucking day, going to school, going to work, going to hospital, going to the grocery store, going to the Apple store. I want you to imagine them, 67 million people. You can't even imagine that amount of people. Every single thing they do monetarily. And then you say, every single one of those people's, the value of the money they use drops 4% overnight. And it has dropped more than 40% over the last 6 months. The idea that this is some sort of dramatic and clickbait thing, it's not, dude. Money, this isn't a stock. This is every stock. This is everything. I mean, look at this. This is 30% in 6 months. Excuse me, 1 year. 1 year. How long until we hear the euro pound drop is because of the Biden? Why? That would be good. That would mean the dollar is strong. If you had $100,000 today could buy what $135,000 bought back in January. XQC told Hasan he was falling into the rookie hole, a totally made up term. What the fuck is that? The rookie hole says, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. Hey, rookie hole, what's up, buddy? This is a pretty big deal, man. So how does it apply to you? Well, if you're an American, you could buy a hell of a lot more shit in the UK and in Europe than you could a year ago. I mean, look at the euro. Look at this shit. Like, you're falling into the rookie hole of talking about currency valuation. Oh, okay. Good point. I bought a board game in Portugal at a discount recently because of the exchange rate. Yeah. Everything's on discount.
Wherever we were on Brexit, however cross you are with me about being right about other stuff, just think about this. The calculation is, if you're worrying about your heating, if you are on an average income, if you're looking at the cost of living, you're already thinking that we may not have a Sunday roast. That's reported in the newspapers today. You're not one of those mythical benefits claimants who is actually living the life of Riley. You are honest, decent. You've had your head turned a bit in recent years, perhaps, by some of the lies punted by the likes of Farage and his mates. You've been conditioned at times to feel a little bit threatened about foreigners moving into the area or coming into the country. Whatever it is that you and I may have disagreed about in the past, just have a little think about this. If you have anything like economic concern at the moment, if you are in any way worried about what is on the horizon, Kwasi Kwarteng's calculation is that by giving me thousands of pounds, he's really helping you. If you are in that situation, if you are somebody who is facing economic difficulty, worrying about your financial situation, and you've just got very little of Kwasi Kwarteng in percentage terms or in actual financial terms, You've got your national insurance cut removed, which means that social care is back where it was a few years ago. It was Manchester United, sorry, not Liverpool. I do apologise. I'm quite excitable at the moment, but honestly, lads, if that's what you're going to pick me up on a morning like this, then frankly, I don't know why I bother. So if you honestly think that by giving me thousands of pounds, Kwasi Kwarteng is somehow helping you, give me a ring and talk me through it. 0345 6060 973, because I feel the planet's aligning a bit this morning. I've already told you that I occasionally worried that my obsession with what these secretly funded lobby groups masquerading as think tanks were doing to British politics may have been a little bit conspiratorial. I'm never going to get a clearer vindication than we've just had in the House of Commons. It's as if these fiscal statements were written by the kind of ghouls who refuse to tell you who pays their wages. But the other bit of it, of course, the other planet, if you like, that is aligning is the footballification one. How many times on this programme have you heard me talk about footballification? The idea that people will cheer their team regardless of what is happening on the pitch. And we refer back to our friend in Idiot's Corner, who is now talking about people talking down the economy, even as Kwasi Kwarteng gives me thousands of pounds and gives him nothing. I mean, this is the day that if the scales don't fall from your eyes, they never will. There's a compelling argument to be made that apart from the bankers and the hedge fund managers and the investment funds, the people who and the American tourists, the people who benefit most from Kwasi Kwarteng's budget, Kwasi Kwarteng's ideology, are homeowners with no mortgage because interest rates are going up. So, I mean, the idea that you can win an election with the support only of idiots like Loz and wealthy pensioners who've already paid off their mortgages is remarkable. And I can't see the calculation. This is the weirdest thing about this lesson I've been on, this journey I've been on over the last few years, is that apart from the epic enrichment of the already richest, there is no plan. There is no ideology. Kwasi Kwarteng might believe it, but it's like believing in Santa Claus or unicorns. Except, of course, one of those things exists. It's like believing in unicorns. It's like believing in fairies. He might genuinely believe that by giving me thousands of pounds, he helps you. He might have had to believe it. It might be almost religious. But it's bonkers. It's bogus. It's incredible what's happening to this country in real time. Brexit was the mother of all alarm bells. And people thought it was a heavenly choir. People still bend the knee to Brexit, even as it picks their pockets. You listen to a government claim to be obsessed with growth while still doing a lap of honour for the achievement of pulling the entire country out of the biggest free trade area in the history of humanity. You give a single fig about growth. You're straight back into the single market. By tea time. Not by Christmas, not by 2025. If you give a monkeys about growth, truly, you're straight back into the single market. But they can't do that.
I mean, this is why. This is why. We now have entered a post-truth era where people no longer feel bound by saying what's happening or even perceiving what's happening accurately. It has nothing to do with it. How the conservative supporting press covered Black Wednesday versus how they were reporting the current crisis. Now, we've all been screwed by the cabinet. Pound down 3%. Pound drops out of ERM on Skid Row, out of control. Lamont fails to save pound. Pound is devalued. The devalued chancellor. Pound goes under. Pound goes into free fall. Beaten Lamont devalues pound. This is what it's like now. Boost for families. As Chancellor vows to defy critics and carry on cutting taxes for the very rich and corporations. Truss pledges to build world-beating economy. Liz Truss plans to make the British economy the envy of the world with a radical strategy to promote growth and investment. Overhaul the tax system, slash red tape for small business, and reform planning laws. No mention of reality, which is the great British pound is in fucking free fall. It doesn't matter how much the evidence shows that this does not work. It never has worked. It never will work. when all the investors are fleeing UK. That's what this means, by the way. This means everybody's saying, I don't think the British economy is going anywhere. I need to get the fuck out. And they're saying, anybody want my great British pounds? And nobody's saying yes. They're forced to take basically $1 a pound. Incredible. Let's be honest with ourselves. It will work. Once things start to hurt, we will just turn to fascism.
What are they doing instead? Oh, well, we are abolishing the cap on bankers' bonuses in order to attract people from overseas to come and work here. Going overseas to work? That sounds like fun. You mean like in a form of freedom of movement? I'll have a bit of that. No, you won't, mate. We've abolished yours. And we're still boasting about it. Here's Jacob Rees-Mogg to tell you why it's a great idea. But that point there, that idea that they are now so contemptuous of you, they think you are so pathetic that they're going to give me money. Mr. Woke Man, James O. Brexit, is getting thousands of pounds off these people while you don't know how you're going to pay your electricity bills. And they want you to believe that by giving me this money, they're actually helping you. Oh, it's the politics of envy. Oh, he's a champagne socialist. I've got the money. Thousands of pounds better off at 12 minutes after 11 today than I was at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. Don't waste tenpence telling me to give it to charity or volunteer. I want a better and a fairer taxation system. And today we got the opposite. And you're still perhaps cheering for it, are you? Yeah, it's quite right. It's great that I don't know how I'm going to pay my electricity bills, and that arse on the radio has just been given thousands of pounds by the people I voted for and he didn't. Go on, riddle me that, guys. Come on, help me out. You voted for this. He's just given me thousands of pounds. You don't know how you're going to pay your bill next month. 0345 6060 973. Give me a ring. Wave your little scarf around. Wave your little Brexit scarf, your little Tory scarf, your little free market scarf as you face financial oblivion and I'm getting cheques showered on me by Kwasi Kwarteng's fiscal statement. Talk me through why that's right, why that's fair, because I don't think it is, and I'm winning. He has created a budget designed entirely to further enrich the richest people in society. I don't even know how they're going to dress it up. I don't even know how the Daily Mail is going to deal with this. 629,000 people in this country currently earn over 150 grand a year. And he's decided that they're the ones that need the most help. We are the ones that really need the money at the moment. Let's crunch these numbers, lads, and find out how we can give people earning over £150,000 a year a serious chunk of change. Oh, and people on universal credit, let's try to make their lives harder at the same time. That's where the class war kicks in. And the challenge for the Labour Party is to somehow persuade people that they are a hell of a lot closer to the universal credit constituency than they are to the 150 grand a year constituency. Solve that riddle, Keir Starmer, and you will be in power for a generation, because people don't like it. No, God, no. Universal, no, not me. I'm on the side of the 150 grand a year plus people. How much do you earn? £40,000. But you're on the side of the...
Damn, I remember when the pound used to go for £2 a dollar. £2 a dollar. When I first went to the UK, it was £2 on the dollar. Now it's $1.08. Woof. Yikes. Woof. Oh, man. Ooh, wee. I guess Brexit didn't work too well. Related? Letters of no confidence in Liz Truss are already coming in.
The super rich? Yeah. I'm a Tory, aren't I? Yeah. Hey, striver, not a skiver.
$2 a pound.
Over there on universal budget, it's working 2 jobs. It's working 38 hours a week. Yeah, but, I don't know, Brexit or something? Fish. No. This is what happens. And it's almost comforting, in the weirdest sense, to have the doubt removed, to have the reality enforced, to have them say it out loud. Whether it's that weasel explaining how the IEA are now in charge, or whether it is Kwasi Kwarteng not even pretending to give a about you while giving me money.
I think a wealthy leftist, I think that's how we should approach tax cuts. We should find conservatives and thank them for their tax cuts. For me, I could be even more of a champagne socialist.
Giving all his mates in the city even more money. Giving the £629,000 people in this country who earn over 150 grand a year a bonus. And giving everybody else a biscuit. Oh, man.
Ooh. Ooh. Tory MP sending no confidence letter over fears she will crash the economy, says ex-minister. Liz is
what we need to hear from the government
fuck up?
Is a credible
says
plan
former
for
minister in Boris Johnson's government.
What we need to hear from
fucked?
the government is a credible plan for the public finances and a credible plan to grow the economy. And it is because we got neither of those on Friday that markets have reacted in the way that they have, both on Friday. And look, I think that many people hoped that over the weekend and as we got on to Monday trading, that things would stabilise. That hasn't happened so far, and the pound is now at an all-time low against the dollar.
Let's get straight
that
to Steve
is very
Leeson, who's been working the phones this morning
because what it means is that the things that are priced in dollars, gas and oil, but also other things, will go up in price, adding to the inflationary pressures and the pressure on the cost of living here in the UK.
That's another good point. It's not just that the pound is crashing. The ability of people to buy stuff with pounds is crashing. That's what that means. So that means prices for everything is going to be spiking even faster. Man, Britbongers are fucked.
UK, but it's also pushing up government borrowing costs, which means more government spending.
The stock market
will go
is
in
crashing now.
The debt, and that will in turn mean higher borrowing costs for ordinary families in Britain through their mortgage rates.
I mean, it just started to turn, chat. So it's a little early to call it a crash, but it was rising earlier in the day and it just turned around completely. Yeah, see? Oddly enough, Rishi Sunak predicted this exact thing would happen if Truss won.
Out my favorite, which is Turkey, which again cut.
America should just buy the entire nation of Britain. A good deal too. I mean,
well, the health and safety stuff they have to
probably
leave to
do
the scientists.
What are the total assets in the UK? Starting from a value of so it's 36.4 trillion US dollars as of 2020. The pound has dropped 40%. So, you know, we got like a 40% discount. We could afford it. We could buy it. Buy the UK. Dental insurance companies would take a fuckload of money off them Brits. Oh, goddamn, dude. You mean dentists? My Bitcoin dropped 40% too? Bro, why are you investing in crypto? Hey, look at that. It's at 19K again. Look at that. Hey, my quick update of Puerto Rico. Still no power or water. All the mayors on the island are meeting to restart an old power plant after receiving threats from Luma that they would be arrested. They are looking to hire union electricians that Luma fired and refused to work with. Luma still refused to cooperate and are waiting to see if the police will actually intervene. Us Scots are fine with our free healthcare, thanks though. You're not going to keep it very long though. With fucking conservatives in power destroying your economy, seems unlikely. Everything's shit. Everything's shit, chat. Everything's shit. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.